Something else to kill us.
Now recording.
The following podcast may have adult humor,
Swear words.
innuendos of a adult nature.
Making fun of me.
That's a given. Everybody looks forward to that. But just know that you have been warned. Hey everybody, we're back with Blind Nights because, well,
We're
we're
blind.
blind. Yeah. How we doing, Jesse?
Doing good. That hey everybody sounded so professional. I'm like, wait a minute, where is Richard and who is this person?
Be honest, quite sir. I can be very professional when
I know you
time
can, but it
requires
just threw
for
me
to
off.
be.
You're like, hey everybody.
Sir, I would ask you to please refrain from speaking until I am finished with my statements that I have each and every time that I go to speak. See what I mean?
Sorry. Yes.
uh, Knights of the Braille News Desk. As per usual, unless there's like a big event coming up, there's not a lot going on with Knights of the Braille. As always, we are looking
And goodbye.
for and looking for game masters and people that are wanting to join in other games. We'll see what we can get done. We'll create you a channel and a category and all that on the Discord if you'd like to join us. So be sure to shoot us an email at knightsofthebraille@gmail.com.
Every time you say Game Master, I hear Puppet Master from Metallica in my head, but just Puppet replaced with Game.
That would not be a bad theme song if you could actually do it.
No, that actually really would be pretty cool.
But I love our theme song, which was created, and I guess that's the right word to say when it comes to music, by Pepper the Vixen.
It is a good song.
Oh yeah, links to her social media stuffs is available in the show notes as always, giving her full 100% credit because Jesse and I, there's no way we could do that.
No.
I know I play the radio and Jesse plays with himself, so it's just the way it goes.
I played drums in high school.
Oh, see, I was told you played the skin flute, but that's totally different subject.
No, I did not. There's
a
lot of that, and no offense to anyone, obviously, but there's a lot of that in the new Interview with the Vampire show.
Not even gonna watch it. No, not at all.
I still am, and I don't know why. Anyway,
because you're weird. But be sure to check out Pepper's stuff and check out Knights of the Braille website. But the one bit of news that we do have is we can tell you that there's going to be a Christmas one-shot from the Dice Heads.
Oh, was it fun?
Oh, we can't tell you what happens, but we can tell you that there is going to be one.
And the ending is unexpected and amazing.
Yeah. Check out these friends of Knights of the Braille.
Hello, I'm Quinn.
And I'm Alex.
And we're
a couple of characters.
We discuss topics related to creating characters for role-playing games.
We talk about fun characters we've created.
And give advice about how to make your own quirky characters.
Check us out every other week, wherever podcasts are found.
The Knights of the Braille Library.
All right, today's recommendation is... Now, there have been zombie books before this, but a lot of people credit, obviously, The Walking Dead and the Return of the Living Dead remake as, like, kickstarting the zombie film rebirth. And this novel's been cited as kickstarting the zombie fiction rebirth. Or birth, I should say. Well, there was probably zombie novels before that, but, like, major rebirth. And it is The Rising by Brian Keene. It is about this father and his son trying to survive in a zombie apocalypse. And what really makes this story a 1-2 punch of greatness for me, it's 5 stars, is the character development. First you have the zombies, the zombie scares is there and everything, but as always with zombie fiction or zombie movies, in my opinion. It's the characters. You want to care about the characters. You care about Jim and his son, whose name I can't remember right now. But you care about them. You care about the party of people that surround them, and you want them to survive. And Brian Keene is one of my favorite authors of horror because there's a great balance between the horror and you care about the characters. It's not like a slasher movie where you're like, oh, let's watch that person die. Let's watch that person die. You want all these people to make it and all these people to live. It's a series, I think, of 3 or 4 books. The first 2, I think, followed the same characters, and the third and fourth are different characters as like the apocalypse spreads across the country. But The Rising is a great book. It's on Kindle and Audible, I believe, and I highly recommend it.
I can't remember where I've come across it at, but I'm fairly certain that I've read it. But it also reminded me of my recommendation, which is why I'm going to give that one here in just a minute. But there's another zombie apocalypse book. I can't remember how many is in the series, but they're based over in England.
Okay.
And it goes around a group of kids.
Oh,
And
that's
I
cool.
can't remember the name of it.
Speaking
it
of
was
zombie
really good.
apocalypse and kids, our friend Jonathan Mayberry wrote a zombie apocalypse series about teenagers.
Yeah, the Benny and Moore series.
Yep.
Yep,
And
I read that one too.
have a question for you because I know you've read it. How is Stephen King? I think you've read it. How is Stephen King's book The Sale?
Once it gets going, I would give it 4.
Okay.
But including all of, I really like the pretense of how it actually gets started because everybody in their love of cell phones.
I love that too.
I can actually see something like that happening.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, as a whole, 4 is pushing it, but 3.5 it seems to be really low, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't want to give like a 3.75 because that just throws off the whole star system, But so it wavers in there. But overall, I guess you have to give it a 4 because you round up with most stuff, But my recommendation is also a zombie apocalypse book because, like I know I've told Jesse, I may have told everybody that listens as well. That's my thing. I love apocalypse stuff, or apocalyptica, I think it's the actual terminology now. I like it, but I've always loved zombies ever since I watched the original Night of the Living Dead, which is the movie that I'm saving for October 31st because I just love that movie. It's cheesy by today's standards, I'm sure for most people, but I love it. But anyway, that's my gig. But my book is Black Tide Rising by Jesse. Looked it up for me because I couldn't remember the guy's name. Is John Ringo. Now I want to thank Jesse that there's 4 books in the series. I can't remember 100%, but I think there's 4. The first one is, of course, the best one to me, and I would have to give it probably 4 stars as well. But it's somewhat of a different take, but not a full-on different take of the whole genre, and it really, really interesting. And one thing that I really enjoyed about this book and the entire series is during the battles, the people, the 2 sisters mainly, who were like the key characters or whatever, somehow had energy enough, like battery enough for their iPods or whatever to keep playing music that they had downloaded to it. I don't know how they kept charging it, or maybe it's just like a super duper battery, but they would talk about the playlist that they were listening to, which I thought is really cool, But also at I want to think it was the end of the book, it would give you a link to the playlist on YouTube.
That's actually
Yeah.
really cool.
And it was, so I would usually like try to search up the playlist and listen to it while I read the book as well. So I really enjoyed that. You know, when the author will go to that kind of trouble or length to, you know, get you involved and to try to make it, for lack of a better term, more personal, you know,
Yeah.
so that you can actually be along with the characters, and which is one of the reasons I love playing like ambient music or, you know, instrumental music in sessions that I run, you know, because it really gets you into it and it really throws you off too at the same time whenever it's
It
what's
sets a
supposed to be
mood.
instrumental. It does set a mood, you know, but like when the supposedly instrumental music actually has vocals in it, not only does it catch me off guard, but I've noticed players, Stephen and Jesse and Mitch,
Start
actually
talking about the
listening
music.
to start talking about the music, or like, oh, who is that again? I can't remember who that is, but I know I love it. And it's like, what are we playing? Name that tune instead
It
of
was
like
me and
trying
Steven
to.
because it was typo negative, and I was like, ooh.
Well, I mean, Mitch has done it too whenever
Oh,
I'd be
okay.
playing Metallica, you know, and I'm not saying y'all shouldn't do that because, you know,
Magic
it's,
Mitchell.
yeah, it's all part of it. But yeah, definitely check out John Ringo's Black Tide Rising. I think it's actually written for like high school age kids,
Okay.
but or young adults is that the terminology now?
Yes.
I
Yep.
don't know.
It has been for a
Um,
while. Yeah.
I mean, you know me. Don't
I did
care.
not mean that to sound like it did.
I know. Screw you, Jesse. I'm going home. But to me, if there's a book written for like middle schoolers, like such as I think the Percy Jackson books were written for middle schoolers.
I enjoyed those.
Exactly. If a book's written good, I don't care what age group it's for.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's what I want to read is a good book.
That's like your or what we were talking about earlier, the Benny Morris series. I think it's technically young adult or YA, and it doesn't scrimp on anything.
Right. You know, in fact, Joe Ledger makes an appearance in there.
That's what I
So,
heard.
oh yeah. Oh, it was awesome. But, you know, it's to me, read what you want to read despite
Yep.
what age group it's written for and enjoy it.
I mean, God, Harry
Yeah.
Potter was considered a children's book, and look how many people read that and love it.
Yeah. I mean,
And
all
R.I.P.
the
to Robbie Coltrane, by the way.
yeah. Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
I know when I watched the was it 20-year anniversary, 25-year anniversary?
Yeah, was he in it?
Yeah, he sounded bad though, man. I mean,
What did he die of?
bad.
Did they say? Like, did he
I
have cancer or
haven't
something?
I
Okay.
haven't seen, but I know he was on up there in age. And
He
like
was
I said, he
72, yeah.
sounded bad.
Have you ever thought twice about playing Dungeons and Dragons because you use assistive technology like a magnifier or a screen reader? So have we. We're the Knights of the Braille. We're a group of dedicated TTRPG enthusiasts who use the same technology that you do every day. But it's not just Dungeons and Dragons that we specialize in. We've got character creation guides and support for all sorts of fun tabletop RPGs and more added all the time. So what are you waiting for? Join our Discord community, take a look at some of our character guides and creation sheets, and get involved in the tabletop RPG action. Head on over to knightsofthebraille.com to get started. That's knightsofthebraille.com.
The creature feature. An armor class of 10.
That's deceiving, though, I'm sure.
210 average hit points.
Hmm.
You're still looking for it, huh?
Yeah.
Will not live long after it leaves its environment.
Okay.
They live in viscous fluid and are tended to
Ew.
by minions that the main bad guy feels are its kind of like slaves, but not using that terminology.
Yeah, because God forbid we
Um,
use the word slave.
Yeah, no. We'll say attendants. But the attendants feel that it is their right and their duty to take care of this creature. They live in subterranean environments. I'm trying to see if you'll even guess what this is.
I feel like I should know it, but I can't remember the name.
It can rewrite a creature's thoughts and alter its dreams.
I feel like some kind of brain, but
Speaking of brains, it eats them. It will eat brains, which I think is really cool because we both did the zombie books and it's Halloween at
yeah, it all
the
fits.
same. Yeah. Totally unintended because I had this creature picked out like 2 weeks ago. The minions feel that whenever they die and this creature consumes their brains, it's the height, not really of ecstasy, but it is like their afterlife. You've heard of these creatures before.
I have, but I can't think of the name. And it's bothering me.
They're rather large. Would you say that they're typically evil then, since you've heard
I
all
would
of this
say.
stuff?
Yes, I would say.
Would you like me to tell you what they are, or would you
Yes.
like to continue?
No, just tell me.
It's an elder brain.
I knew it was something with brain, but I couldn't think of the first damn word.
They have telepathy of up to 5 miles. So any creature within 5 miles of them
Oh, you're screwed
can
then.
be. Oh yeah. Well, you have to make an intelligence save of 18. I mean, poor old. Well, no, Periwinkle wouldn't even be bothered because his intelligence was below a 4, so he'd be good. But like they are a challenge rating of 14 though,
Wow.
and that's crazy. But I'm fixing to get in all the big stuff here. They get 3 legendary resistances per day. They get a magic resistance, which gives them, advantage on spells or other magical effects. They can make a telepathic link with up to 10 creatures. Pretty awesome so far, if you ask me.
What are the minions like? Have we covered the minions?
No.
Okay.
The minions are mind flayers.
All right, I just figured it out. My cheek is muting it.
Thank you, Cheek. The tentacles get a +7 to attack, and each tentacle attack averages 20 points of damage.
How many? I was moving.
Up to
How many points of
average
damage?
of 20 points
Oh.
of damage. Here's a kicker. They can do it up to 4 targets.
Oh my god.
Yeah. They also have a thing called Mind Blast, which they can choose any creature, and they must make an intelligence save of 18. And if they fail, they take 32 psychic damage.
You can kill a few people with one attack.
Well, that is the average,
Yeah.
the average of the.
But like we've said, I've said, sometimes I do average because I'm lazy.
Yeah. And here they can cast these spells at will. Detect thoughts, go figure, because the whole telepathic thing.
It'd be kind of dumb if they couldn't.
Yeah. They can also levitate, which is which is really cool. They're really hard to move, like to move to a different location. So I
You
guess
kind
that's
of
their
have to have them
exercise.
planted. Yeah.
Yeah. They get these 3 actions per day. They can modify memory. And that's the only one that they get for 3 a day. It read it kind of weird whenever I was going through it on the website. They get this 1 a day, which is dominate monster or plane shift. So these things, while the AC is only 10, their saving throws, the bonuses they get for them are, I think the lowest one I saw was a +9. Some of them are plus,
But
12.
getting to hit it, that's the problem.
Oh yeah. And here's some bonus actions. A psychic link. They can choose any incapacitated target and develop or create a psychic link with that creature. And see, this is why this thing is so hard to kill, because they can have up to 10 targets with that psychic link. I mean, they have to all be incapacitated before they connect with them, but they can have up to 10. So think if your character goes down to 0 hit points in most people's, sessions, boom, there's another one in the telepathic link.
Right.
Boom, they can read like the emotional thoughts or the emotional status of whoever they had this link with. They can read their forethoughts. I mean, so this is kind of like building an army and like a chess master playing chess with like the other people's, pieces and all.
Yeah.
And let's see, legendary actions here, Jesse, is really cool. They get 3 of these a day. They can break concentration with someone that they have linked. And I wasn't really sure how to understand this part of it whenever I was reading it, but because it says the target will receive 2 points of psychic damage per level that it's cast at. I never saw anywhere where the Elder Brain casted at any certain level, so I guess you'd have to find the spell.
Yeah, and just modify it yourself.
Yeah, I'm guessing somebody out there who's listening to this knows. Shoot an email, because I'm kind of curious about that, how they would take that. The psychic pulse, they can target, whoever they target and the surrounding companions for up to 30 feet, or for 30 feet in total, yeah. And cause them 10 psychic damage. I mean, you've already killed your party like 3 times.
Yes.
Over here,
right?
Which is why you don't go and attack them at low levels.
Yeah.
And their tentacle attack costs 2 legendary actions, which, me personally, I would use this over, the other 2.
Yeah.
Because the damage that it costs. But the big part about this Elder Brain is the minions, and with the Elder Brain and the servitude to it from the Mind Flayers, it kind of creates like a you know what a hive mind is?
Yep.
Well, that's kind of what they have here. They're the central hub for them. But they also get lair actions, which is something that I know dragons get and other creatures get as well. But something that I don't think a lot of people take advantage of.
No, I know when you guys fought your dragon, I didn't.
Right, but it makes a lot of sense here.
It does,
because they create a force wall, which is the spell Wall of Force. I wonder where they got that from. I don't know. They have the ability to use psionic. I guess it's psionic, but of course, screen readers say stuff differently. So let's say the psionic anchor. you have to make a DC 18 charisma save, or else the Elder Brain can just take you into one position and you have to stay there. I mean, you cannot move. You can try the saving throw again at the end of your turn, or at the beginning of your turn, but still, just to think like you're not moving, and you don't.
Yep.
Which is really, really.
This might be the most brutal creature we've ever done.
I think so. Now the cranium rats to me was probably the coolest.
Yeah.
And here's a psychic inspiration, which means they can give give advantage. Like I would say the minions, the mind flayers that help them out, they get advantage on one attack roll, one ability roll, or one saving throw before the end of its next turn. So I mean, they can keep their army up.
Yeah. Right.
And yeah, say you roll a 19 on a straight D20 roll, and that's your first roll. Are you going to roll a second time? You dang right I am, because that could be a crit.
Exactly.
But I thought it was really, really interesting. And here's something that I remember you brought in whenever we did the Blue Dragons. What I think it was.
Yes, it was.
Regional effects. The psionic powers that this Elder Brain has changes the environment of its surrounding area. The creatures in the area will feel like paranoia. Like they get paranoid about everything.
Yeah, I did bring that. Yep.
The creatures that it's linked to will hear like psionic whispers. Like kind of like Randy Orton there. Like I hear voices in my head. And
they
can
counsel
also
me, they understand, and they talk to me.
And that's what the Elder Brain is getting. So they know all of this information. It's hard to beat something like that.
Yeah.
They also have telepathic eavesdropping up to 5 miles. So it's like, yeah, I may know what to do to defeat it, but will you even have a chance to get to it? Because they're going to have more than like 10 minions. At least that's how
I would like to see a
it.
battle between one of those and like really skilled players that know what the hell they're doing, and just see how it would play out.
I would really like to see one run with somebody who, and I'm not saying blind or low vision people can't do it, because I mean I'm an advocate for blind and low vision people doing it, but I would like to watch like a sighted group or a sighted dungeon master run it, so he could look back and forth to the notes and the stuff on the page or the screen. Because I mean, we know running games that it's hard to keep up with everything that can be done, so we usually leave some stuff out for simply ease of running. Because we're trying to listen to everybody and listen to our screen reader as well.
Yeah.
So I would really like to see that. I know how I would run an encounter like that. They would have, they'd be at least 10. I'm thinking more like 30 or 40 mind flayer minions. Like as protection, you got those that are serving the Elder Brain. Then you got the other ones that are, scouring for protection, like a security kind of thing. And then you got the Elder Brain itself on top of that. So that battle, I think, could last hours.
Sessions. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be really awesome to run or to watch and, play with. That's really all I have for the Elder Brain, which I don't know. It may be one of my favorites so far, but
yeah, I really like that. That was really cool.
But as of right now, nothing is going to beat the Cranium Rat, just for the sheer awesomeness that they.
I think I would even swap out the mind flayers and even have a troop of cranium rats being the minions of the Elder Brain.
Well, I would definitely have some of them involved. As scouts, as
they could even be the security, like.
Yeah, have waves of each. Which would, I don't know, would kind of negate the fact that the Elder Brain's AC is so low.
Yeah.
But they could be scouts, and then you got the sentry duty of the one group of mind flayers, and then there's another group. It could really boil down into a massive battle.
Yeah.
But that's really all that I have. Like I said, I like them. And we'll see what we come up with for F for next week.
Are you ready for no holds barred, bone crunching, hard hitting, high flying wrestling? Listen to all of the action right now on the Audio Wrestling Network. Featuring 2 decades of storied history and 3 big leagues, the UWF, EOW, and WOW. Listen to hours of action, drama, and mayhem. If you're a fan of the WWE or AEW, then you won't want to miss this. The Audio Wrestling Network was created by the visually impaired, so that means no pictures and no video. But you won't even miss it. Bring a set of headphones, your imagination, and your love of wrestling. Check out AudioWrestlingNetwork.com for new weekly updated content, breaking news, and the very best in audio wrestling. That's AudioWrestlingNetwork.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Audio Wrestling Network, where wrestling is reality.
But I did get to go and play in person this past Thursday.
How did that go?
It was fantastic. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I don't think there was 8 of us there, plus the DM. I created my character while everybody was creating their characters while they were there. I created my character. His name is Gorthan Bloodaxe. So
Dwarf?
You should know straight off. Yeah, Gorthan Bloodaxe.
Dwarf, yep.
Yep. Barbarian. This DM does like I prefer doing, and when people can understand it, Jesse, that you get your max HP at each level.
Mm-hmm. I understand that.
Yeah, but yet you was always asking each time we leveled up.
I know.
Bless your heart.
Whatever I was always asking was the thing about crits.
No, you was asking that too, but
Oh, okay.
I won't make fun of you too much because I got to have stuff for next week too. Yeah, totally different subject.
But did you know any of these people?
Yeah, 2 of them were in my local group before we, I guess, really just disbanded.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard, but I mean, I've talked to them here and there, but nothing.
Right. Because that was how long was that going?
Off and on altogether, probably about 1.5 years.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I thought it was longer than that even.
Well, that's why I said off and on altogether.
Okay.
It's about 1.5 years.
Okay.
That we played, but it seemed to be a lot of fun. It's going to be every Thursday.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, looking forward. I had a blast.
Do you meet at someone's house, or where do you guys?
We have an arcade here that you go to play in. Pay $5 to go in and play.
That's cool.
So, he's got minis, he's got maps, he's got all that, and really good at descriptions.
Well,
so
good.
it's good. Having a blast at it so far. Right now we're in the making a deal with a hag. And my character's thing is he has, black hair, long black beard, but he has them in cornrows, and he does like the whole Viking thing where he weaves bones of his enemies, into his beard, and likely he's going to do it into his hair too. But he has lots of bones weaved in just to make you think he's killed lots of enemies. Kind of playing this one a little bit different. He's a devotee to the god Erebus, which is the god of death. And he's like really, really emo. Because they asked him, like, what's your opinion? Well, don't care. I just want the blood of me enemies bathing my ox, and I want the bones of me enemies in me beard.
Is it a homebrew campaign or?
Yeah. DM said he does a lot of homebrew stuff, so
Yeah.
but we'll probably be talking about this like in our podcast to showcase that, hey, if you're blind, you can play with a sighted group
Right.
as well.
Yes. Yep.
So I guess we'll call this Richard's updates or something. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, it's been a blast recording this as always, and
Yeah, it has.
Jesse's gonna tell you about the Who Knows podcast.
The Who Knows podcast is a podcast where Richard and I don't know the topic beforehand and we roll for it on a dice table he created. Although this month we're doing all things based upon Halloween. So we do kind of know the topic. Well, he knows the specifics more than I do, but it's a lot of fun, and check it out, the Who Knows podcast. We have a blast recording those as well.
This episode is brought to you by the Knights of the Braille and is made possible through the support of viewers such as you. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to get all of the latest information and episodes. Thank you.